What's up, y'all? This is Eric Haze here in Brooklyn, New York, coming at you live and direct. Just doing a little recap after the show in New York last week, and maybe little travels through history and some of the work as well. I started out in New York, came up in the 70s and 80s, broke out to California for the better part of the 90s, where I set up the brand and design studio out there. It's been a long road and full circle back to New York over the last 4 or 5 years. Had to kind of reinvent a lot of things, both the brand, where we stood as a design studio, and what I was doing personally, actually, as an artist. I really had to sort of roll up my sleeves and find a way to return back to the basics and the essence of it, where things really felt like they had my fingerprints on it the way they always had in the beginning. Music and hip-hop and album covers and the medium of graphic design had allowed me an avenue to continue developing and expressing who and what I wanted to do as an artist. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I was packaging other people's ideas and packaging other people's concept. The puzzle was, how do I create an entity or a brand or an identity or a company that will allow me to do what I've been doing for everybody else, but for myself. At that time in the early 90s when I arrived out there, what had been a surf skate sort of industry was morphing into a whole new sort of wave of style and thinking that we now know as streetwear. This was actually a whole new playing field that was creating itself and was developing into what I would call the hot new medium. It was school of hard knocks for those of us who could create graphic design and what was basically just a graphic design based industry at that point. It was logos on t-shirts, logos on baseball caps, embroideries on existing garments and jackets. Between the entrepreneurship of people opening stores and boutiques around the world, and people opening publications, and people starting brands, you know, everything really started to come together and make sense, sort of 93, 94-ish, and it was a real exciting time.
So now, it is my duty to eliminate and subtract all of the booty crews.
We achieved a great amount of success just because it was new. It was an unknown quantity. It was, you know, completely fresh and exciting. You know, I think we all discovered that in the world of fashion that ultimately new is the key. You know, you look at 93, there were maybe 20, 25 legitimate companies in the whole world doing streetwear, and probably less than 100 real deal boutiques and people distributing and managing the product. Who knows how many companies there are at this point in time.
Don't sweat the technique.
Coming back to New York really reconnected me with a lot of the things that had motivated me to begin with. As I began to get back in touch with really doing things organically and by hand and naturally, something really sparked, and that really struck me as not only the right direction for whatever work I was doing, but it's been a process of sort of getting familiar with paints and brushes and different pigments. It just grabbed me in a way personally. In a world of computers and programs and, you know, where everybody's sort of working on the same menu, once you get off the box, what you can do with your own hand defines what you're really about as an artist.
When they sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique. Know how many bombs have I ripped and wrecked, but researchers never found all the pieces yet. Scientists try to solve